The Chosen Season 6 has started exactly where Season 5 broke us, and leaked details from Episode 1 have left fans in absolute shock. The betrayal we never wanted to see is here. Judas has already kissed Jesus, the soldiers are closing in, and the disciples are torn between anger and heartbreak. This isn't just another episode of The Chosen, it's the beginning of the darkest chapter yet, and the leaked scenes prove that nothing will ever be the same again. Season 6, Episode 1 is set to rip open every emotion we thought we had already faced in Season 5. When Judas stepped forward with that kiss, the entire story shifted. What we thought we were prepared for has now been confirmed through behind-the-scenes leaks, and it's clear that the tone of this season will be heavier, darker, and more painful than anything before. The episode begins not with peace, but with betrayal. Imagine the weight of the disciples' faces as they realize what Judas has done, some frozen in disbelief, others consumed with rage. From leaks, we know Peter will not stay silent. He is furious, heartbroken, and ready to confront Judas face to face. And honestly, can we blame him? Judas wasn't just another follower. He was family to them, one of their own, someone they trusted with everything. To see him hand over Jesus with a kiss, the ultimate sign of false love, is a wound that cannot be described in simple words. The leaked details show us that soldiers immediately step forward, surrounding Jesus as if he were the most dangerous man alive, when in truth, he carried no weapon but love. That contrast will be crushing for viewers. On one side, soldiers in armor, holding chains, swords, and lanterns. On the other side, a man who has only ever healed, loved, and forgiven. But the fear of the priests and the Sanhedrin has now exploded into action, and Season 6, Episode 1 wastes no time dragging us straight into that painful reality. What makes it even harder is knowing that the disciples are not ready. They want to fight, they want to resist, but Jesus had already told them what was coming. Still, when the moment arrives, no one can accept it. The trailer hints, and leaks confirm, that Peter is the first to step forward with fire in his heart. He will not stand by as his teacher is taken away. That anger, that desperation, is something we've never seen from him in this way. From behind-the-scenes reports, we know that one of the first explosive confrontations will happen right here. Peter against Judas. Imagine the pain of a friend turning into an enemy in one single moment. The betrayal cuts so deep that the disciples don't know whether to break down in tears or lash out with violence. And the tragedy is, no matter how much they shout, no matter how much they plead, the soldiers have their orders. Jesus is to be arrested, no matter the cost. This first episode is not just about the betrayal, it's about the unraveling of everything the disciples believed was secure. For years they walked beside Jesus, watched miracles, shared meals, and dreamed of the kingdom. But in just a matter of moments, those dreams are shattered, and the storm begins. Episode 1 throws us into that storm without hesitation. The leaked scenes show Jesus being bound by soldiers, a sight that will crush fans who have followed this journey from the start. Seeing the Son of God treated like a criminal, chained and led away in the dark, is something that will not only break the disciples, it will break us too. The emotions behind the camera reflect this same heaviness. Leaked footage from Italy, where much of the arrest and trial sequences were filmed, shows the cast visibly shaken after takes. Elizabeth Tabish, who plays Mary Magdalene, admitted in an interview that the weight of these scenes left everyone grieving together, hugging each other, and wiping away tears between shots. That isn't just acting, it's a shared mourning. The pain is so real that even those portraying the story can't escape it. This only proves how much raw emotion will hit the screen when Episode 1 finally airs. But here's what makes it even more intense. Season 6 is not interested in giving us a soft entry. Right from Episode 1, the pace is brutal. The arrest leads directly to Caiaphas and the Sanhedrin, setting the stage for the trial that will end in condemnation. Unlike past seasons, where moments of joy or miracles balance the sorrow, here the tone is unrelenting. This is the beginning of the passion, and Dallas Jenkins is not holding anything back. From every leaked image, every interview, and every behind-the-scenes whisper, it's clear that this episode is designed to prepare us for the most devastating journey yet. And yet, what makes this so powerful is not just the pain, but the love behind it. Jesus knew this moment would come. He prayed in Gethsemane, asking his Father to take this cup away, but ultimately surrendered with the words, "Your will be done." That surrender is the heartbeat of episode 1. Even as soldiers tie his hands, even as Judas steps back into the shadows, even as the disciples cry out in confusion, Jesus stands calm, resolved, and unshaken. That contrast will not just move us, it will destroy us. Because while everyone else falls apart, he stands ready to embrace the cross. The leaked scenes prove one thing beyond doubt. This season is going to demand everything from us. The actors themselves said filming these moments left them broken, and that same weight will fall on every viewer. Episode 1 is not simply the start of Season 6, it's the moment the story turns from hope to heartbreak, from miracles to the march toward the cross. And if the leaks are anything to go by, fans are not ready for the pain this episode will deliver. By the time the soldiers begin to drag Jesus away from the Garden of Gethsemane, the disciples are already shattered. It's as if they've lost the one person who gave them strength, purpose, and direction. The leaks confirm that as Jesus is bound in chains, every step he takes towards Caiaphas' house feels like a step deeper into the darkness. From behind-the-scenes clips, we see the raw anguish on the cast's faces. The pain isn't just in the story, it's in the way the actors carry it. It's clear that this first episode is going to make us question everything we've ever believed about hope, loyalty, and sacrifice. We see Peter's face twist with anger, disbelief, and pain as he watches Jesus being led away like a criminal. And while the leaks confirm that he tries to step forward in defense, his courage quickly crumbles when he is confronted by the reality of the situation. This is the moment we've been dreading. The moment Peter fails Jesus. The leaks show a heartbreaking confrontation where Peter denies even knowing Jesus. Each of his words, "I don't know him," will be like a knife twisting in our hearts. For the disciples, for the viewers, it will be a moment of agony. We've all believed in Peter's loyalty, in his unshakable faith, but here, in the darkest hour, he is faced with the crushing reality of fear. In leaked scenes, we see Peter's eyes flood with tears as he realizes the full weight of his denial. It's as if the very foundation of his world is falling apart. Judas's betrayal, Jesus' arrest, and now Peter's failure. Everything is unraveling in front of us. The disciples can only watch, helpless, as the soldiers drag Jesus away to be tried before the Sanhedrin. The contrast couldn't be clearer. While the soldiers march in disciplined lines, ready to carry out their mission, the disciples are lost in their own grief, fear, and confusion. And yet, even in this chaos, we know that everything happening is part of a greater plan, one that will change the world forever. The leaks confirm that the trial before the Sanhedrin is even more intense than we imagined. Jesus is brought before the high priests, scribes, and elders in a night trial that's designed to condemn him no matter what. The irony here is painful. The one man who has healed, preached love, and performed miracles is now being questioned by those who are supposed to represent God's justice. But this is no ordinary trial. The Sanhedrin has already made up its mind. They've decided that Jesus must die. The entire trial is a mockery of justice, with false witnesses brought in to twist his words and accuse him of blasphemy. We see Jesus' calmness as he stands in front of these men who seek his destruction. It's the kind of peace that only comes when you know your purpose is bigger than your own suffering. The leaks show that his responses are quiet, measured, and unwavering. He doesn't defend himself, he doesn't shout accusations, he simply lets the truth of who he is shine through, even when it is used against him. In this moment, Jesus is showing that his love and his sacrifice aren't just for the disciples. They are for everyone, including those who seek to destroy him. It's a profound moment that will leave viewers questioning what true strength really looks like. The trial is not just about the injustice of condemning an innocent man, it's about the brokenness of the world that needs a savior. And as we watch, we can't help but feel the weight of this moment, knowing that this is only the beginning. The episode, the season, and the entire journey are all leading to the cross, and with each passing scene, the darkness grows heavier, but there's also a subtle shift happening. While the world is falling apart, Jesus is steady, unwavering, and determined to see this mission through to the end. In the leaked scenes, we see the disciples scattered. They're running, hiding, trying to process what has just happened. No one knows what to do. The promise of a kingdom, the hope for a new world, everything seems to be crumbling around them. But it's Peter's story that truly stands out in this episode. We watch him wrestle with the crushing reality of what he's done. It's hard to watch as he realizes that his denial of Jesus is not just a personal failure, it's a betrayal of everything he's fought for. Every look from his fellow disciples, every moment of silence, adds to the suffocating feeling that Peter can't escape. And when the rooster crows, signaling the final moment of his denial, the pain is unbearable. The leaks reveal that the final shot of this episode will focus on Peter, standing alone in the dark, broken and lost. This moment will be a turning point for him and for the entire series. He is a man who has followed Jesus, loved him, and even promised to die for him. But now, in the cold light of his own failure, Peter is left with nothing but his regret. And we, as viewers, will feel that loss deeply. The emotional weight of this moment will carry us through the entire season, because it isn't just Peter who is lost, it's all of us. In our moments of fear, weakness, and failure, we are all Peter. We all deny, we all stumble, and we all need the grace that Jesus offers. But even in this darkness, the light is still there. The leaked footage hints at the arrival of something we can't yet fully understand. Jesus' trial will not be the final word. The cross will not be the end. This season, as dark as it may seem, is leading us somewhere greater, toward redemption, toward hope, and toward the ultimate sacrifice that will change everything. The leaks confirm that while this journey is one of pain, it's also one of profound love. And though it's going to destroy us, it's also going to build us back up again. This season is the beginning of the hardest, most heartbreaking journey yet, but it's also the beginning of something beautiful. As the trial before the Sanhedrin drags on, we see the true depth of the injustice being served. The leaked scenes give us glimpses of Jesus being pushed from one questioning to the next, his calmness standing in stark contrast to the anger and false accusations hurled at him. What's even more heartbreaking is knowing that, despite everything, these religious leaders are blinded by their fear of change. They can't see the truth standing in front of them. For them, the kingdom that Jesus speaks of is a threat, and that threat must be eliminated at all costs. This trial isn't about justice, it's about maintaining control, holding on to power at whatever price. The brokenness of this world, this system, is laid bare before us in a way that feels more personal than ever. The leaks confirm that one of the most intense moments of the episode will be when Jesus is finally asked the question, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of God?" It's the question that has haunted him from the very beginning, and in this moment, he answers without hesitation. "I am," he says. The response is simple, but it's so powerful that it shakes the foundations of everything the Sanhedrin stands for. The moment is so profound that, from the behind-the-scenes footage, it's clear the cast couldn't hold back their emotions while filming it. Jonathan Rumi, portraying Jesus, delivers this line with such sincerity and pain that it feels like the weight of the entire world is in those two words. But even as Jesus affirms his identity, the Sanhedrin is ready to condemn him. The false witnesses who've been summoned to testify against him fall short of convincing anyone, but the decision is already made. They twist his words, turning his truth into something blasphemous. And in that moment, it becomes clear. Jesus' fate is sealed. The King of Kings, the man who has healed the sick, raised the dead, and fed the hungry, is about to be handed over to a world that will reject him completely. The emotional toll on the disciples is devastating. Leaked scenes show their faces as they stand at a distance, watching in horror as Jesus is led away. They feel completely helpless. Peter, especially, is caught in the agony of his own denial, torn between guilt and disbelief. It's clear that no one is prepared for what's about to happen. But even in their helplessness, there's a flicker of hope. We can feel it, even in the darkest moments, the knowledge that Jesus is not just a victim here. He is the one in control. His trial, his arrest, his suffering, it's all part of the plan. And while the disciples can't see it yet, we know that the kingdom he spoke of is not gone. It's just beginning, though in a way they never imagined. The leaked footage also reveals a deeply emotional moment between Jesus and the women who follow him, including Mary Magdalene. They watch as Jesus is led away, their hearts breaking for the man who has shown them so much love and compassion. These women, who have been with him since the beginning, understand the weight of what's happening in a way the disciples can't yet grasp. In one of the leaked shots, we see Mary Magdalene clutching her chest as if her heart is being ripped out. Her pain is visceral, and it's a reminder of just how much these people love Jesus, not as a teacher, not as a miracle worker, but as the Savior who has transformed their lives. As we transition from the trial to the next phase of this heart-wrenching journey, we see the consequences of the Sanhedrin's decision take shape. Jesus is handed over to the Roman authorities to be condemned, and this is where the true weight of the passion begins to settle in. We've seen the arrest, we've witnessed the trial, but now we're about to witness the brutality of what's to come. Leaked behind-the-scenes footage shows the brutality of the Roman soldiers, their harsh treatment of Jesus as he is beaten and mocked. These scenes won't just break our hearts. They'll leave us questioning everything we thought we knew about suffering and sacrifice. But even in the midst of the violence and rejection, there's a quiet, unwavering strength in Jesus. The leaked scenes show him enduring everything in silence, his eyes filled with a sadness that no one can fully comprehend. He doesn't fight back. He doesn't curse his enemies. He doesn't even ask for mercy. He takes every strike, every insult, every moment of humiliation without resistance. It's the ultimate act of love. And as we watch, we're reminded that this is not just a story, it's a choice. Jesus chooses to suffer. He chooses to take on the weight of the world's sin and pain so that we might live. What makes these leaked scenes so powerful is that they aren't designed to shock or disturb us for the sake of violence. They're designed to show us the true cost of redemption. The suffering of Jesus is not something to be glorified, it's something to be felt, to be understood. It's a pain that we must all confront if we are to truly understand the magnitude of his sacrifice. And the leaked footage confirms that Season 6 is going to confront us with this pain in ways we've never experienced before. As we watch Jesus endure the unimaginable, we can't help but wonder, how can anyone survive this? How can anyone carry such a burden? But that's the point. Jesus isn't just surviving. He's embracing the cross with love and grace, showing us that true strength isn't in power or control, it's in surrender. And in this surrender, we find the greatest victory of all. As the brutality of Jesus' crucifixion draws near, we are faced with one of the most emotionally harrowing sequences of the entire series. The leaks provide us with glimpses of what's to come, and it's clear that these scenes will not only break our hearts but will challenge us to confront the full weight of Jesus' sacrifice. It's impossible to look away as the Roman soldiers prepare the cross. Each hammer blow, each cruel lash of the whip feels like a strike against our own hearts. And yet, in the midst of this unimaginable pain, Jesus' love remains unwavering. From the behind-the-scenes leaks, we know that the crew went to extraordinary lengths to capture the full emotional impact of the crucifixion. Filming in Italy, the team used a location that still bears the marks of history, where ancient stones seem to carry the echoes of the past. The crew, even the actors themselves, were visibly affected by the weight of the scenes they were filming. Elizabeth Tabish, who plays Mary Magdalene, shared in an interview that she could barely hold it together during the filming of the crucifixion scenes. She described how the cast would often comfort each other between takes, crying together as the reality of what was being portrayed became too much to bear. That raw emotion will come through on screen, making every moment of Jesus' suffering feel all too real. But the true devastation comes not just from the physical pain Jesus endured, but from the overwhelming isolation he felt. As he hangs on the cross, abandoned by nearly everyone who once followed him, the emotional weight of the moment hits hard. Leaked images and behind-the-scenes footage show Jesus alone, eyes fixed on the distance, his suffering more than just physical. It's the weight of the world's sin pressing down on him, the knowledge that even his closest disciples, Peter, John, and the others, are hiding, denying, and struggling to understand what's happening. In this moment, Jesus is truly alone. The man who healed the sick, who cast out demons, who raised the dead, is now abandoned in his most vulnerable moment. What's even more gut-wrenching is knowing that he chose this. He didn't just endure it because he had to. He embraced the pain because of his love for us. The leaked footage shows his pain, but it also shows his resolve. Jesus doesn't fight back, he doesn't scream out for vengeance, and he doesn't beg for mercy. He simply surrenders to the will of the Father. "Father, forgive them," he says, his voice breaking the silence with words that cut deeper than any wound. And we're left wondering, how can anyone love so unconditionally? How can anyone endure such torment without breaking? This is where the true cost of redemption becomes apparent. The crucifixion isn't just a physical death. It's the death of everything humanity has ever known. It's the death of power, control, and pride. It's the death of a system that values strength over love, that values victory over sacrifice. And in its place is a new way, one that demands humility, forgiveness, and grace. As Jesus suffers, he changes the very nature of what it means to be human. He shows us that true victory is found in surrender, and true love is found in sacrifice. The leaked scenes don't shy away from the agony of this moment. We see the soldiers mock Jesus, laughing as they crown him with thorns, pressing the sharp thorns deep into his skin. The images are brutal, but they are necessary. These scenes are not meant to shock or disturb for the sake of violence. They are meant to show us the true price of sin, the true cost of redemption. And when we see Jesus hanging on that cross, we're reminded that this is the moment everything changes. This is the moment that will echo throughout eternity, the moment when the impossible becomes possible, when death is defeated, and when the hope of salvation is offered to all. But even in the suffering, there is a glimmer of hope. Jesus' death on the cross is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. As the disciples stand at a distance, witnessing the horror of what's happening, they don't know what we know, that the story is far from over. The leaked footage from the final moments of Episode 1 suggests that there is a moment of quiet before everything changes. In the midst of the chaos, there is an unwavering truth. Jesus is not defeated by the cross. The cross is his victory. It's the moment when the kingdom of God breaks into the world in a way that can never be undone. What makes this so difficult to watch is the recognition that we, too, are responsible for this. The soldiers, the priests, the Sanhedrin. They may have condemned Jesus, but it's our sin that nailed him to that cross. This is not just a historical event. It's personal. The suffering of Jesus was not for some distant ancient world. It was for you. It was for me. And as we watch his body suspended in agony, we are confronted with the reality that we are the ones who need saving. But it's also in this moment that we begin to understand the depth of Jesus' love. His death is not just a punishment. It's a gift. It's a gift that will change everything for everyone who believes. The leaked footage reveals something even more powerful. When Jesus dies, the sky darkens and the earth trembles. The veil of the temple is torn in two, symbolizing the removal of the separation between God and humanity. This is the moment when access to God is forever opened. Jesus' death becomes the ultimate act of reconciliation, and the moment of greatest pain becomes the moment of greatest hope. As the episode draws to a close, we are left with the crushing weight of Jesus' death. And yet, there's a stirring sense that something greater is coming. The disciples, though shattered, will soon witness something they cannot even begin to comprehend. The burial, the silence of the tomb, and the heartache of the following days will seem like the end. But we, as the audience, are looking forward to something that will surpass all understanding. This isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning.